So, hello, team. It is Tuesday, June 4th, and this is our Lunch and Learn. With so many new team members, just to reiterate, um, on every single Tuesday, we do a training, very few exceptions. This is a very solid time slot of training that we do, where we pick a topic and we call it a lunch and learn. It is okay if you eat your lunch. It is okay if you're eating your breakfast. It is okay if you are driving in your car. But as we were just joking about before I started the recording, if you have a lot of motion, meaning that you're walking or something, then do turn your camera off so that the rest of us don't have motion sickness while you're moving all around. But we love for you to join on whatever you're doing. Of course, sitting with a pen and paper is best, but we'll take you however you need to be. So super excited that you're on. Some of you I still have not met even on the welcome call, because I know some of you are scheduled for tonight. So if I am new to you, I am Michelle Zito. I am your company vice president located on Long Island in New York. And certainly welcome you to the team. If this is your first time on a Lunch and Learn, we look forward to seeing you on lots more. I do record these because, of course, people have full-time jobs that they can't necessarily get off at this time. We do have lots of people that work full-time that manage to make this their lunch hour time. So if you can swing that, do it, because number one, it's easier to be on the live because then you've done it, you don't have to get back to it. And two, you get to have your questions answered in live as well. So whatever you can manage is great. So because of all of the new team members joining and what that means, not just for you, the new people, but for all of the people that did the recruiting, I thought it was really important today that we revisit goal setting, because it is such an important topic and it's something that we all need to be reassessing all the time. Goal setting can be reset on any day of the week where you decide you want something new or different. It resets every month automatically because we have our Rich Rewards program that you may be resetting for. We just had the trip reset, and you may have decided that you do want to go for this trip even though you didn't go for the last trip. What if you want to do it this time? Right? We didn't have free kids the last time they offered a trip. So maybe 4 recruits seems extremely doable for you, since actually some of you did already sign 4 people with new kids. Some of you are halfway there. Some of you have 1, and in the past you've had 0. So you may want to revisit if you want to put it as a goal to earn a trip. And if it's simply an income goal or a number of days a week you want to be out, or whatever it is, we want to help you with that. So that's what we're talking about today. So quick question, how many of you do truly want to have success with your Park Lane business? Okay, so I see some faces and some show of hands, and I know that many of you are like in places where you can't necessarily be shouting, or it would be weird to do so. And I do love how on this call so many people like are sneaking on at their job, and they like are secretly listening, so you can't be like, woo! But I'm quite sure that many of you would love to do that. And if you were, if we were all in a room together asking that, I'm quite sure I would have got a big, roar. And that's what we need to do right now. We need to just get our excitement out. People are drawn to that excitement, and excitement is really one of your biggest keys to success. There was a girl in my other business that I was always amazed by her level of success, considering how little she knew. And I'm not saying that like in a mean way, but I'm just saying she was like fun and excitable, but as long as she was in the business, she really didn't know a lot. And I was like, how is this girl still making it, asking these types of questions? And it's because her customers didn't know that. They knew the bubbly, fun girl that showed up to the parties and did the parties. So her team knew the bubbly, fun person that was fun to be around, and they got their questions answered elsewhere. So I promise you that excitement is the #1 step to beginning your success. So people are drawn to it. They want to be a part of it. And you've seen that. Do you ever go to like a vendor event or some sort of trade show and there's like a flurry going on at one table? And everybody's like, oh, what's going on over there? And then there's more excitement because of that big flurry. You want to be the big flurry where people are coming to you because of your level of excitement. You want to be that special something that's happening. Okay, and then people are going to come to you. So that means when you are, some of you are calling friends right now, sharing your business for the first time, and some of us are calling our past hostesses, right? And letting them know this month's special, right? We know that June hostesses are able to get an extra $150 in credit, okay? So that's something special that we normally don't have. So if you're calling up hostesses and saying, or you're calling up your friends and saying, hi, we have some new things, and hostesses right now are getting an extra $150. And I thought that I might reach out and see if that's something you'd be interested in. They're going to match that, right? And they're going to say, okay, well, you know what? Why don't you send me a catalog and I'll take a look and maybe we'll set something up. I can like barely reenact this without falling asleep. It's like so boring. No one is engaging with you. Where if you're calling up, if you are brand new right now, you're going to call someone up and say, oh my gosh, I am so excited. I just started a new business with Park Lane Jewelry.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Park Lane?
Oh.
And then you're able to go ahead and have that conversation because that person is going to match your level of excitement. If I call my past hostesses, especially if they hosted at a time where they had a similar special, right? January.
Wait, Pauline. Pauline, because I just had that bill approved.
Someone needs to mute. I think I got it. If I'm calling up a hostess who had last June, where I think we also had the 150, or another month where I know that, oh my gosh, Jennifer, I am so excited. Remember when we did your show last June and you got $850 in free credit because you had an extra 150? We're doing it again. The specials right now are amazing. The jewelry is gorgeous, and I would love to get you in on that again because I'm feeling you want another $850 in jewelry. She's going to be like, you're kidding. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. What do you have? What dates do you have? They're going to match your level of excitement. So keep that in mind because that's all you have to know. That's not a lot that you have to know. So that is what is going to work for you. Are you confident? Are you confident in what you have to offer? That's one of the biggest things that I love to teach the team is to be confident in what you are offering. Okay, we are never asking for a favor. There is no such thing as a pity party. We are offering a service. And do your friends want to take advantage of my service? We can go to someone's home and style them personally with the clothes they just bought, right? Everybody right now is going and buying everything in Dress Barn before they go out of style. What about going over to their house and accessorizing all of those new clothes? People are buying new bathing suits and cover-ups. Cover-ups that half the time they're never taking off because they're not actually swimming at the pool party. They're just showing up in their bathing suit and they're going to sit on the edge of the pool with their feet in, which means they need all kinds of cute, fun earrings to go along with that so they look cute at the barbecue. What do you have? Let me come on over and style you up. Oh, you know what? We're going to do that on Tuesday. Do you have another friend who's free? Tell her to bring over her stuff as well. Who gets to shop like this? That's how like rich ladies shop, where they're getting all this personal attention. We're offering that to everyone. So always remember, you're offering an outstanding service. And if someone doesn't want to take advantage of it, that's fine. But there's no like pity parties involved here. Okay, so we're going to be enthusiastic. We're not going to be hesitating. We're not like, I don't know, like pussyfooting around. We're not doing that. We're getting right out there. All right, so we're going to practice the words that you want to say at your show, on the phone. Yesterday on the welcome call, I showed you all in the announcement section, there's a thread that says in a big photo, words to say. And there are 63 comments in that thread, some of which are commenting on the words, but there's probably 20 plus paragraphs that you can cut and paste, edit to your liking, or use as a script when reaching out for about probably 15 different scenarios. Pick one and start using it. We give you the words so that you can practice them. When I was brand new, in direct sales 19 years ago, I remember it was June, just like this, and I sat outside on my deck and I wrote out verbatim the entire show that I was going to say. And this was in a different business where I had to like cook and clean and serve and all of this. So the amount of writing this was, I would say it probably took me 3 or 4 hours to write this out because the show itself was over an hour of talking. But you know what? Right from the beginning, my show was pretty good because I wrote it all out and I practiced it at home. I said it out loud. I recorded myself and listened to myself saying it, which is a technique I still use. So it does take practice. And for those of you that are around a long time and are wanting to make a change to anything that you're saying, you actually have to practice more than a brand new person, because it's harder actually to say something new than to say what you've always said. So I find I have to record myself and listen to myself say it back and everything if I want to change something. Otherwise my autopilot kicks in. So speak with clarity, speak with enthusiasm. So today we're going to be talking about goal setting as it pertains to time management, getting on track, and how to get some success and how to hold on to the success. Because we like you to start strong, but then we like you to keep going as well. We're going to talk about bookings. How many of you, I'm going to put the screen back on for a second. How many of you have all the shows that you need? Your calendar is full, you're all set. Does anybody have all the bookings they want? Okay. Some of you are laughing and some of you are saying no because you would say no even if you had shows booked 5 nights a week because you would always want another show. So if that's the case, that's great, because then we're going to talk about some ways to book at a show, ways to book outside the show. This is not all today, by the way. This is going to be what we continue to talk about through our Lunch and Learn series this summer, or this month, I should say. And we're also going to talk about how to build your team. Let me ask you this. How many of you would like to recruit one person a month consistently? Every single month, one person joining your team. Okay, so now there's a variety of kind of responses there, because some of you are like, yep, me. And then some of you are like, I mean, I guess so. If you say so that that's something you think I can do, then I think I would. And others of you were like, 1. No, I want to recruit like 4 people a month. Why is she setting the bar so low, right? And it's funny because the reaction to all of that when you're together, it's like people see those reactions, and then when you see that person that's like, well, I wanted 4. Oh, you know what? That's Jennifer, and she's a recruiter, okay? And like her husband helps her in the business. She's like one of our like top recruiters. So I'm not really like her, but I guess I'll do like 1 a month if Michelle says that that's like something I can do, right? And that's where we all start to like get confused by our own goal setting. So that's what I want to straighten out today. Okay, because everybody can have their own goals and have your own level of success regardless of what the people around you are doing. You do not have to be a superstar in any area, right? You don't have to be the superstar #1 seller to be a success. You don't have to be the #1 recruiter to be a success. You need to be consistent, and you need to hit the goals that you have decided are important for you. Now, we would love to teach you how to be consistent. We would love to teach you how to bring in at least 1 person a month, how to have a consistent show schedule, because you will enjoy a nice level of success in terms of continued growth if you do. If you help your team to do that, you're going to have a consistently thriving and growing organization. So that's where we're going to put our emphasis. So let's talk about success. If I was to ask each one of you, are you successful in your business? Now, some of you are brand new and can't even answer yet because you literally just started. But many of you have been around a while. So if I said, are you successful in your business? a lot of people's response is kind of like, they kind of like give me a blank stare and they don't know the answer. They're like, well, I mean, I guess I really only do this part-time, you know, really I work at the bank and I do this like as like a part-time thing. So like, I don't do as much business as Belinda. Like I'm not like a trip earner, but I mean, I guess it's okay. I make some money doing it. And, I don't know. And that's like the answer to, are you successful in your business? If this was like an outside friend asking you that, at that moment, are they like, I want to book a party with her right now? No way, because they don't even really know if you know what you're doing. You haven't projected any kind of confidence or knowledge or excitement about what it is that you're doing. Most people have not identified what success means to you. So if you haven't decided what you want, then how in the world will you ever know if you've achieved what you wanted? You're never going to feel success. And that's a terrible place to live if you don't know what success is to you. So if we don't know what we're aiming toward, we don't know when we hit it. I want you to feel successful, okay? And when you feel it, then you project it. And people want to be around excited, successful people. So that's why it's imperative for you to know what success is for you. Again, you don't have to be the top recruiter. You don't have to have the largest team. You don't have to be the number one in sales, because success is an achievement of something that you've decided in your mind. So in other words, and you can write this part down, success is an achievement of the goal you set. Success is an achievement of the goals you set. So it stands to reason that if you want to be successful, what do we need to do?
Set a goal.
Correct. Gold star, set a goal. Okay, so how many of you actually do write your goals down somewhere where you can see them? Okay, that's not a lot. And that's actually pretty typical statistic. Only about 25% of people do that. And that's probably the amount of you that just either answered or waved or whatever to that. And and that's actually in direct sales world. In normal world, only about 13% of people set goals. But yet 87% of people will give something a try. So see where the disconnect is there? So sometimes people say, don't set goals because they're like, well, I'm only doing this part-time. That's totally cool. Then be the best part-timer that you can be, right? You're a successful part-timer if you're achieving your goals, right? So remember, if someone's coming to your show and thinking about doing it, and then they ask you, how's your business going? And you answer with, well, I'm only part-time, so like I kind of do it. They're not going to continue on to say, I was thinking of joining you, right? Or asking for more business information. Whereas if you said, you know what? I'm doing this part-time. As you know, I work at the bank, but I really wanted to do something part-time because Tiffany wanted to do that gymnastics team and it costs a ton of money. So I started this up. I've been doing it for like 2 or 3 months, or I've been doing it for a month. I've been doing it for however long you want to say. And in that time, I've actually easily paid for the gymnastics. I had a little extra to pay for a couple of the school field trips. And I met some really fun girls, and I have all the jewelry I could ever want. Now, that's the same person, right? You're the same person as the person that would have said that other boring soliloquy. But now you sound like somebody that knows their success, that's enthusiastic, that's confident. And she is going to say, oh, maybe I'll have a show. Maybe I'll consider joining with her. Okay, so you may be saying to yourself right now, my goal is to do 1 show a week, and I want to have it on a Friday. Then guess what? The minute that you book all your Fridays, you get to be excited. You get to feel successful. Now, I will warn you that somebody's probably canceling, so if you definitely want to hold one show a week, you probably should put a second one on some of those weeks. That way, if someone canceled, you still have your one show a week. If no one cancels, well then, get that money, okay? So, you want to be focused on the goals that you have, because if you just act randomly, right? Random acts get random results. And random is not what we're shooting for. Your goal is what we're shooting for. So you want to take action each day that's giving intention, that is purposeful, so that you know what it is, that you're going to be specific. All right? So everyone needs to decide, you know, sometime after this call, what is it that I want? I want to hold 8 shows a month, which would be 2 shows a week, right? On average. If you have a whole week you can't work, then you're going to do 3 in some of those weeks, because your goal is 8 a month. I want to develop 2 people on my team into a leader. I want to help 2 people on my team promote to branch, or 1 person on my team promote to area. That's this month's goal, right? And then each month you can decide on a new goal, but you want to be intentional. And think about it, right? When you're going to a show or you're going anywhere, how many of you set a GPS of some sort? You set the Waze, you set the navigation in your car, right? How many of you do that? You set a GPS when you go into the show, okay? Do you look at it and then turn it off and drive away? Right? You're laughing because that would be the dumbest thing ever. But yet, why then would you try to proceed in business without directions? Right? The directions are what your leader can help you with. The directions are participating in these calls, are setting your goals, making a list each day. If you wouldn't just drive cross country with no directions, drive to your show with no directions, why would you try to run a business with no directions? That would be crazy, and it would only set you up for frustration. And we certainly don't want that. So we want to get to the right place on time. And that's what we want to help you do here at your business. The success that you're going to have here, it's a journey. It's a road traveled. And here's a quick tip. This journey is going to come with speed bumps, roadblocks, detours. Okay, these things come in the form of cancellations, husbands, small children, all right? Hostesses that are drunk. All of these things are the roadblocks in your business. But it's all a matter of how you're going to handle that moving forward, because your life is never going to be without those things, and your business is never going to be without those things. But the successful people carry on no matter what, right? There's not a successful person, there's not a person on an incentive trip that didn't have numerous speed bumps along the way, that didn't have cancellations, a recruit that didn't qualify on time, you know, any of those types of things. There's not a person in this business that hasn't had these numerous roadblocks, and it's simply a matter of how are you handling it. Because if the goal is I am earning a trip, then you don't stop until you earn the trip. And if there's a roadblock, we find a way around it. If there's a cancellation, we replace it. We find a way to overcome what that roadblock is. So number 1 is to display your goals. The big ones, the small ones, display them where you can see them, because it is fun to color in something for success, to circle, to put a check mark, to put a star. Then you get to see what you've achieved along the way, and you get to celebrate along the way. So that is a big action step to take, is to write down your goals and to subsequently share them with your recruiter/leader. Share them with someone who can help you with your roadblocks, with what you're going to need to get there, with your plan. We have so many trackers. If you're tracking to get awards at convention, then you should have your convention recognition tracker from the field interface printed out and working on being colored in. If you're a leader working to the VIP, which it's not too late. If you are a leader, if you are an area, you only have to promote 2 people to branch to get to go to this. And with all of the people that just took those free kits, Donna, you could be at this event, right? So that's a tracker that you want to print out. These are all the things that you want to make sure that you're tracking. If you want to promote to area, Naomi, what you're going to be writing down is $5,000 on the top of a piece of paper. Okay, there's no fancy trackers that are needed for some of these goals. You write down 5,000 at the top, and you write down the person who got you to branch's name. You write down 3 or however many additional recruits that are on your team. When one of them hits 1,000, you put a check mark. When the second one does, when the third one does, they all get a check mark. And at the top, you're writing 5,000 minus 1,000 for the first one, minus another 1,000. You keep going. And when the bottom says 0 and you have 3 check marks, you promote to area. That's all it takes. Okay, and that is a separate call I would like to do because I know of at least 3 people that have a goal to promote to area. I would love to get anyone who wants area on a specific call for that. But track it. It's fun. It's actually the fun part, okay, of getting somewhere is watching it happen and tracking how much you have to go. This organization is a big fan of to go. How much do you have to go? And it's the easiest way to do it too, because you always know that number that's left and you just chip away, chip away, chip away, right? Both Phyllis and Belinda, last day of the show of the trip incentive. How much do you have to go? How much do you have to go? And we just chipped away all day. Jennifer was doing it too. She just didn't have to do it as late into the night as the other 2. But, you know, chip away at any goal that you have. Those of you on a free kit, right? You have $1,000 that you need to put in by your 30th day. But as we discussed on the call, everyone's shooting for June 26th at the very latest, because then you'll have your sales needed to promote to branch, right? So you're going to write $1,000 on a piece of paper. And if you get an order from a girl at work and you send it in, that's at 120. Minus 120, you have now 700 whatever or 800 whatever to go. We do to go thinking for earning our level 1 rich rewards, right? If everybody who puts in 1,000 by June 12th, this is all of us, $1,000 by June 12th, you get to pick out $250 in free jewelry. So right now, everybody should have 1,000 written down and be tracking how much you have to go so that by June 12th, you get to pick out $250 worth of jewelry. That's always the best one to start. The Thursday, that's the first day of the month, 1,000. How am I getting to 1,000 by the second Wednesday of the month, even if I don't have a show? If you have a show, pretty easy. But if you don't have a show, we don't just decide we're not getting it. We find alternate ways to get sales, right? So there are 5 Ds of success. So we're going to keep right on going for this, okay? So we just have so much excitement. I'm going to proceed on into this next little section, okay? So with this goal setting, the goal setting should help you with a vision of your business, and it can change. You could decide anytime you want more, you need to adjust for less, whatever it is. But there are, the overall vision of your business is what we really want to help you with. So it's okay to take some downtime in a day. And it's actually important because that's where kind of your creative thinking comes in. I find that when I don't have enough downtime in my business, I don't think of the cool extras that we do, right? You know how sometimes I'll come up with like a fun whatever extra or a different training or something. That comes when I take a few minutes to step away from the phone and the computer and just kind of think about stuff. Or I take an extra long shower, and while I'm in there, I try to think about things that we can do as a team to try something new or things like that. And you need to do the same thing. Take some downtime to put some vision into your business. What do you see a week from now? What do you see a month from now? What do you see at convention, right? Picture yourself on the stage at convention, all of us cheering for you, all of us clapping for you, your family watching on the live stream at home, and what will it take for that to happen for you? Picture yourself at a new level with a bigger raise. What is payday going to look like? What is that email going to look like at 35%? At 40%, with a downline override on 10 people, on 15 people, on 100 people, on 200 people. There's no too big or too small, right? You want long-term and short-term vision. Take the time to think of these things because that's what really helps you grow. So to get back to our goal setting here, all right, I don't want you to ever sabotage your success because you confused your goal with someone else's goal. All right, now think about, many of you are married or you have a dad or another man in your life, okay? And think about when you were a kid and your dad and your mom had like a list of things to do, or if you are married and you and your husband have a list of things to do, right? Your husband's list is like on a Post-it. It's super short and achievable to be done in a reasonable amount of time, right? So it just says like mow lawn, grab milk, clean garage, okay? He leaves it at that. He does those 3 things, and then where do you find him 2 hours later? Enjoying a beer on the lounge chair in the yard, celebrating because he finished his list. That is actually healthy, excellent behavior. But what do? We find a legal pad. We write 22,000 things on this list. It will probably not be completed by the end of the day. So now you add those things to the next day's list, and if you do finish it, you flip it over and start a new one. Okay, Jamie is peeing in her pants because we know it's true. And that's not good. That's why women feel so frazzled. That's why women put themselves down that they didn't achieve what they wanted, because you didn't set yourself up for success and to enjoy something you achieved. And you need to do that because that's what makes you want to do it again the next day, right? So if you're going to say, today I am going to do the customer care follow-ups on 2 parties, and that's the goal for the day, then after you do that, you get to go get a Jamaican Me Happy and your People magazine and sit down and read your People magazine and drink your Jamaican Me Happy. Right? Or you get to sit in the tub, or you get to whatever it is you want to do. Take a nap, sit down for 15 minutes, go get a pedicure because you got that off your desk. And that was the goal of today that was going to grow your business. So please keep that type of thing in mind. So confusing goals is also when someone is brand new. Like some of you are brand new and you're like, I'm just going to do my 1,000 so that I fulfill my commitment to the company that I got this free kit. And you know, the end of the month comes and you're like, yeah, I did my 1,000 and I'm going to read the recognition and you're pretty sure your name's going to be read and you're super happy. Then let's say Anita is like, you know what, I want to this month, I'm going to beat my best month ever in personal sales. So she decides that to do that, she has to sell $7,000. So Anita spends the whole month working hard. She gets actually to $7,300 and she comes on, oh, Michelle's doing the live or she's going to do the recognition. I know she's going to say my name at number 1 and she's all excited. And then what if I come on and I'm like, and our number 1 seller with $8,300 is Becky Rojas. And now she's like, what? Okay, and now the girl with the 1,000 is feeling bummed out. Anita's mad that she wasn't number 1, but why would you be mad? She beat her personal best. She made more money than she ever made. She set a goal and exceeded it. So why on earth would you be upset about that? That only happens if you are looking here instead of here. So you set your goal. When you achieve your goal, it doesn't matter if someone did 10 times what you did. If you hit your goal, you are successful. The end. No one can tell you any different. All right? So, and don't compare, don't make excuses as to why she got to do more sales than you. Oh, she doesn't work full time. She doesn't have small kids. Her husband helps her. Okay. None of those things matter. You set your goals. She set hers. Everybody's happy. All right. So the 5 D's of success. Shout out to me. Take yourself off mute for a quick second if you can. Shout out to me some D words that you think are affiliated with success.
Determination.
Love it. What else?
Desire.
Drive.
These are all excellent and all part of it. But I will tell you that determination and desire are definitely part of it, but they are not.
Dedication.
Dedication is
Mm-hmm.
another good one. Definitely not first, because if you're waiting to one day wake up and feel desire to overcome you, it's going to be a long wait. Okay.
Decision. A
So,
decision.
decision. Who said that?
Jackie.
Jackie, good job. That is actually number one. And all of your answers are correct. It just wasn't, like I'm saying, just only that's not first. The first D is what Jackie said, which is to make a decision. Now, this little thing we're going to work on right now can help you in many aspects of your life, right? This can help you with a personal goal, a fitness goal, a business goal, something you want to do with your family. So when you are making a difficult decision, the indecisiveness is actually the hardest part, right? Should I change my kids' schools? You know, Jamie, you can relate to this. Should we move? Should we stay closer when we move, or should we go further than we move? I was doing that at this time last year. We were moving. And all of that feels awful. Some of you came here from another company and took a long time to decide. It felt so much worse when you were trying to decide than when you actually did decide to make the switch, right? So when you make that clear-cut decision, you feel relief. You get clear on what needs to be done. Then you get excited, right? You have this excitement wash over you. You feel like you're in control. If you're going to be remodeling, you're like, all right, we're going to go pick out the cabinets. We're going to go pick out the flooring. These are all things that now start make you want to take action. You're taking control of your life. You've decided, and now we're ready to move on to the next step. And now the desire, second D, the desire starts to build. Okay. And with that desire, it could be that there's some discipline, there's some diligence, there's some dedication, there's some drive, but actually what needs to come next are the details. Okay. So once you've made your decision, now the details need to start coming together. And that's where we start making our daily lists of things to do. And it's so funny because out here in the world, only 25% of people make a goal, but like 95% of people make a list. What is your list about if not to help you get to your goal? So that's why your lists drive you crazy, because your list hasn't been directed to your goal. Now that you know this, you can make your business list each day with what action steps do I need to take today to get me to my goal. So if you want to hit your 1,000 by the 12th, then you need to have 5 things on your list that will help you get sales. If you're working on promoting, then you need to take 5 steps today that help you get some sales and help those 3 team members get sales, right? Or you need to help somebody recruit, or you need to recruit to make sure you have the 5 people you need to promote to area. So this is where you're going to make that nice, healthy list we spoke about that's going to help you get towards the goal, action steps that take you towards the goal that you want. This is all about mindset, and that makes you want to do it again tomorrow because it rejuvenates you. It inspires you. You're like, this was great. I did it all. I got some things done. I'm this many steps closer to my goal. That's what helps you. That's what empowers you. So when you make this decision, the desire builds, you work on the details, and then you're going to reach your destination. Okay? So once you're at the destination, so to do all of this does require what many of you said, which is determination. So you need to decide what you want and then follow through with the details, no matter how mundane they may be day to day. Okay? And what I mean by that is we do need to do follow-ups. almost every day, right, to get to a goal. Not every single day. 3 days a week, 2 days a week if you're a part-timer will give you good results. 5 days a week will get you there faster. You don't need to work 7 days a week. No one here is Lee Iacocca, okay? So if you're thinking, oh my gosh, now she's telling me to work 7 days a week. I'm not telling anybody they have to work 7 days a week, okay? So that determination is that you have to do those mundane tasks every day that you're working is what I mean, every day that you are choosing to work. So you do need to make follow-up calls. You do need to check in on your team members. You do need to be booking shows outside of shows, not just at shows. You cannot wait till your next show to get your next booking. We're booking shows during the week outside of shows. And you do that so that you are not changing the end result, right? Because some people are like, you know what? I didn't want to go to St. Martin anyway. It's going to be hot. I have to get a passport. Like, just forget it. No, stay with it. Readjust the goal, okay? Readjust the plan so that you can still get to the goal. And decide, I'm getting there no matter what. I might have to pull over. I might have to ask for directions. I might need to ask for help with my details. But if you make the decision, you will achieve what you're shooting for here in your business. And I really can promise you that if you really make a strong decision and stay with it. So, would anyone like to ask a question or add anything for anything we spoke about today?
I'll say one thing that helps me with the goal setting or the list making. I'm a big list person. And so I've started doing a list on Post-its because there's not very much room to write. So once my Post-it is full, I'm done.
There you go.
And then I get to ball it up and throw it away.
That's right. Love it.
Nicole, I don't have the discipline. I would have 52 Post-its.
Well, you know, that's the other thing though. I only limit myself to 5. So once I get to 5, I have to get rid of 1 or 2. So it makes me work on it because then I'll start getting like claustrophobic with all the clutter.
That's so funny. Look at what's right here.
Right. I literally.
So I do want to.
I like the idea.
I do want to say for goal setting. Before I moved, this behind me it's just a picture frame, and I put strings in it. You can't really see the strings. There's strings in it with little clips, and I clipped my goals to that. And I had my let's see. Where was my? I had that clipped up to it. I'm going to put it back, but it has some previous company information on it that I need to swap out first.
Okay.
But that's where I keep my goals is right here, where I get to look at it every single day. And I put like my tracker would go up there. I just actually got my husband to hang this yesterday. So.
Yay!
But that's where my trackers go. That's where my written goals go. I forget what they call these things, but anyway.
Love it.
So that's where I keep it right there in front of me. I walk into my office every day and look right at it. And my kids look at it, and my husband looks at it. So
that's always great too when your family is aware of what you're shooting for, because they can help support you. If somebody in your family stands to benefit from your achievement of something, whether it's they get to go on a trip, whether it's money that you make is paying for something that the family or your husband or whatever will enjoy, that helps too.
You know what helped me is what really helped me is, I think we talked about this before, and reducing my task list to no more than 5 things that I could probably really complete in a day. So having that huge list and moving things over only five at a time is really gratifying at the end of the day when I look at how many of them I checked off. When I check off 5 things in a whole day, I feel super accomplished. So yeah, I like it. I like doing that.
That's awesome. You know, a big one too to track weekly is, you know how every Monday the book 4 post goes up? In the margin of your planner for each week, write 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to book 4 new shows each week, meaning over the course of your work week, you schedule 4 new shows. So if you do a show and 2 people book, 1 books for June, 1 books for July, you're going to write down Sue, June 27th, Mary, July 9th. Then you do some follow-ups and somebody books September 9th. You're going to put Phyllis, September 9th. And then you do another follow-up, another group of follow-ups, and Anne-Marie books, August 9th, Anne-Marie, August 9th. That's a huge one because now you have 4 new shows on your calendar. And then the next week you do write 1, 2, 3, 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then when your hostess joins and takes her 3 bookings you just got at her show, you don't have to say, oh my gosh, now I have no shows, because you did all those extra bookings the week before and you were filling in your calendar. So you will see, when I tell you, you will see a life transformational change to your calendar when you do this every single week. I really paid attention to that strong all through the fall and all through January, and I credit a lot of that to how strong of a start I had to this year. So it's something that I have allowed to slip a bit in these last couple of weeks, and 100% I'm committed to getting back to it, because if you go into the summer thinking that all your bookings are coming from the booking before and you're going to have a good summer, you're going to be disappointed as it comes along. So do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 times in the margin. And just put the names, Mary, June 9th, da, 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 da. So I'm not telling you book a show so that you're doing 4 shows a week. I'm saying each week you find you're booking 4 occasions to show the jewelry. It can be a fundraiser. It can be that you booked a personal appointment. It can be a show, all kinds of things.
This is Belinda. I'm also like to create a vision board, and I do it every 6 months. So my vision board is about to get cleaned up and restarted. And this is how I set the goals to earning the trips. So 1 down. I don't know how many more to go, but that's how I do when it comes to the trips. And then I do a monthly. So when I first start the month, I put everything that I want to get accomplished in that month.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's excellent. Excellent. If you right now don't have a paper calendar because you pretty much do things in your phone, that's one thing that you will need to go get yourself. Because at a show, you can't just like pull up your phone calendar and have people choose from that. It's just not practical. You do need to open a paper calendar that people can see and that you've written in. You will, of course, put those bookings in your digital calendar when I'm out and about. You know, I do like to know when my shows are and things like that. But at a show, you want to have a paper calendar to show. And it's great for your, noting who you need to call. When someone says, call me in 3 weeks, you turn your calendar 3 weeks away. You put call Mary Smith. Needed to get through daughter's wedding, wants a show. And when you turn the page, you're like, oh, look at this. I have a whole list of booking leads to follow up with. So that you kind of do need a paper system to do, as well as booking at the show. Any other thoughts, questions, concluding statements? Well, I hope you found this helpful. I found this quite enjoyable today. Great suggestions at the end. Please do those action steps that we spoke about. Whatever tracker you need to either create or print, let's do it. And please share it with your upline, your recruiter, someone, so that we can help you make that roadmap. So have a great rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.